I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's press on now to page 66 of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook. Continuing to look at music in context, we're looking at a section of music and then answering questions based upon what we see, making use of all of the knowledge that we've gleaned so far. And so here we have an extract of music in the bass clef in a key signature of 2 sharps. So let's just jump in and answer these questions together. So first of all, we need to name a bar that begins, the first note begins with the dominant note of B minor. So the dominant is the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B, C, D, E, F. That's the tonic B. Here's the dominant F. Of course, it's F sharp, but your key signature will deal with that. It's got to begin with an F sharp. So here we have a B, a C sharp, a B, a G sharp, G natural. So here we have an F sharp because the key signature sharpens that. And actually here, C, D, E, F, that is also an F sharp. So bar 6 or 8 will be an acceptable answer there. Now we need to name one bar that contains a note that's not found in the scale of B minor. So let's just look at what would be acceptable. So in the scale of B minor, let's just step out the degrees of the scale: B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. The key signature is F sharps and C sharps, and then in the minor version, the harmonic minor, we can have the raised 7th, but do bear in mind we can have the raised 6th and 7th, can't we? And then in the descending version, we can come down with just the key signature alone, which would mean we have G naturals and A naturals. We just have F sharps and C sharps. So G sharps and A sharps, or G naturals and A naturals, are all acceptable, aren't they? So what do we have here? So all of this is explained by the key signature. However, here we have an E sharp. That's not part of it. There's no place for an E sharp in this scale. Now we have a G sharp, and we know that that's okay because of the raised 6th. We have an F sharp because of the key signature. E sharp is not acceptable. Now here that's still a G sharp. That's an F sharp. It's a little confusing because there's no need for that. The key signature does that job for us. It's already sharpened, it's sort of surplus to requirements. Now here we have a G natural, and that's perfectly acceptable in the descending melodic minor form, or the descending harmonic minor form. We have an F sharp, that's part of the key signature. E natural, back to everything as it should be. A sharp is acceptable, that's our raised 7th. This is an F sharp, that's part of the key signature, that's okay. Now here, this note here is a C, D, E sharp again, and so that's not part of B minor. So we have 1, 2, 3 options here. We could say either bar 2, bar 4, or bar 7. Will tell us which indicate a note that's not in that scale system. Oh, so now we have a dynamics question. In which bar does the loudest note occur? So let's see what happens. We start off quiet, it sort of gets louder and fades, then it's moderately loud, grows and then fades. Here it grows again, fades, grows again and fades. Now here it's loud, but we've been perhaps at this point before. However, it gets louder here, doesn't it? And so actually this is the loudest point just before it starts to fade. And so really the loudest point isn't here, it's here at the end of this crescendo. And so that would be bar 8. How many semiquavers is the E sharp in bar 7 worth? Well, let's just work that out. We know that a crotchet is worth 4 semiquavers. And then the dot is worth half as much again, so half of 4 is 2. And then the next dot is half as much again, half of 2 is 1. So 4, 5, 6, 7 semiquavers worth in this double dotted crotchet here. So that's 7. And then which bar ends with the raised leading note of B minor? The leading note is the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're looking for an A sharp, the raised leading note. So where can we find an A sharp? Here. So that one is acceptable there. So end of bar 5. Actually, we could have perhaps made note of that when we were looking at this question as well. Just sort of took it as read because it was there. However, nevertheless, the point remains. It's part of B minor as it's the raised 7th. Let's continue. Is it true or false that 5 bars in this melody have the same rhythm? Let's think about this. So we have crotchet, 2 quavers, crotchet, crotchet. We get that again here. That's 2 of the same, but we don't get it again. Here we have 4 quavers and a minim, 4 quavers and a minim, 4 quavers and a minim, 4 quavers and a minim. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same rhythm, but then it doesn't happen again. So we've tried that. Here we have this 1 bar and this 1 bar. So actually the maximum repetition we have of the same rhythm isn't 5, it's 4, isn't it? So that's false. Is it true or false that most of this melody should be played staccato? Well, we have here lots of these dots under the note, not to be confused with dots after a note. Dots after a note are a timing issue, mean to be held for half again and half as much again, whereas underneath or on top of the note head means staccato, which is detached, and you can see that occurs for most of the melody, and so that's true. Is it true or false that the melody should be played sadly? Well, sadly is mesto, and here we have misterioso, not the same thing at all. This is mysteriously, that is sadly, so that's false. Now then, which of these bars will sound the same as bar 4? It may well be written differently, but what will sound the same? So you can see we've changed clef here. So let's look at bar 4. What have we got going on? So if this is middle C, this is the G sharp below middle C, the F sharp below middle C, the E sharp, back to the G sharp, back to the F sharp, all of which are just below middle C. So here, this is middle C. We have a correct time signature, but there's no key signature. So here that's a C, B, A, C, B, A. That's a G. That's an F. That's an E. That's a G. That's an F. But there are no sharps and there's no key signature either, so that won't do. Here we have the same again in placement, but now we have a G sharp, an F sharp, an E sharp, back to an F sharp, which doesn't really need to be written again. Going down, oh, that's a G sharp, sorry. That's a G sharp, going down to an F sharp. And so actually, that's everything we need. They've just written it as in the alto clef. There's no key signature, but the accidentals do all of the work for us. So that's the one that we're after. This one isn't correct because this natural sign cancels the sharp sign, and so that won't do, will it? And finally, let's look here at exercise 3D. Which of these shows bar 7 correctly written in notes of half the value? So our time signature is 4/4 common time, which means 4 crotchet beats per bar. And so to halve that, we're going to have to go to 4 quaver beats per bar, which is 4/8. And so straight away, that won't do. Let's look at bar 7. What should these notes look like? So if we're halving everything, 4 quavers becomes 4 semiquavers, and then we will have a double dotted quaver with a demi-semiquaver, and they will be beamed together. And so here we have 4/8, that's correct. We have the key signature. We have the notes placed correctly, and then we know we've got 4 semiquavers, a double dotted quaver, and a demi-semiquaver. That's the one that we want. This one, in actual fact, what's happened is everything's doubled, not halved. And so that's that page, nicely completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.